Shalom, everybody. Shalom. This is your beautiful sister Chela with all of you guys tonight, this evening. We are doing a later class just because, as all of you are kind of aware, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff today. Yesterday, I had the Teatro Chelsea kind of, the presentation for the inhumane living conditions in the Chelsea area. And surrounding areas. I came home super tired and I just needed to kind of handle the children, the house, and everything. But we are here now. All praises to the Most High. So welcome to our late evening Shabbat class. I pray that all of you are doing absolutely fantastic. Let's remember the one main thing in this life. It does not matter what we are going through. We are built different, and we are built in a manner such so that we are able to overcome all the bullcrap, all the nonsense, all the BS that comes our way, the people that try to, steer us off course. And fortunately for me, I find ways to level off these kind of energies and these kind of things that try to steer me off course. Temptation, lies, spiritual attacks and whatnot. But we've also been physically under the weather, and I mean physically under the weather because my ears are itchy, my throat is itchy, I've had a scratchy throat, I've had a sore throat, and it's like, oh my God, it's like one thing after the other. But then when Spirit told me to speak on the stuff that we're going to speak on tonight, I was like, boom, there it is. That's the reason why I've been encountering so much oppression and so much opposition from these entities of darkness, from these archons that rule, these darker forces that rule over this matrix. I didn't put it together until I realized, oh, okay, Mother Wisdom, that's what you want me to talk about tonight. So, on top of that, you guys already know that I have a new little fur baby, and he keeps me up at 4 in the morning every morning because he's on a routine now. And his routine is that he'll sleep and he'll be all spoiled and stuff. But by 4 in the morning, guess who loses sleep? This one right here. You got it right. Because my kids adore him, but they're not the ones who are getting up at 4 in the morning. They're not built that way, so they don't actually, they may hear him bark and whimper and try to howl, but are they the ones who kind of get up and drag themselves out of bed and go, oh, Shamar, girl? No, it's this one right here. So please excuse my my throat that's a little scratchy and I'm not really feeling it. My ears are so itchy, but I'm gonna try to avoid kind of tugging at them, but they are very itchy, hence the fact why I'm not wearing big hoops or any of that. I'm wearing Moonstone. Love Moonstone. But I'm wearing the smaller hoops just because it's so aggravating to have anything pull, because the weight causes a lot of inner ear pain. So that's that. And again, if you've been watching some of my YouTube videos and you've been updated on the fact that I got my industrial, then you are updated on the fact that if you're seeing me without head wraps, it's for the same reason. You're not going to see me with any head wraps until this piercing is healed, because if I put anything over it, it's going to obviously irritate it to the point that it might bleed or get infected, and I'm not trying to do that. I got this industrial piercing for the reason being that it helps with about 80% control in sinus outbreaks, sinus infection. Those are the pressure points for when you have a sinus infection, when you're touching the ear and doing reflexology. Those are kind of the trigger points that allow for everything that has to do with your nasal cavity, your sinus pressure buildup, mucus buildup, and sinus infections. So that is that. Who is ready for this fantastic and most beautiful, indulging class that is going to knock some doors on dark entities that hate being exposed? And when I say they hate being exposed, we're talking about the minute you come into their territory and start talking about things that exposes them, how they are, how they operate, what their mission here on this earthly realm is, that's it. It's over. They absolutely hate that. But one of the things that I tell my brothers and sisters all the time is there is a bigger and deeper reason to why this society has built something upon an industry of movies and entertainment and all that. We may not see it with the blind eye, with the physical eye at first, but it takes people like me and like you as seers to be able to discern and break through the veil of why was the system specifically built like this inside of the media. We have entertainment, and we use that word and we see it all the time, but we don't understand the context of it because people don't speak enough on what the sole purpose of having this entertainment and this media industry and what it's all about, right? So today's title for today's class, again, welcome to Praying Together as One Ministries. This is your beautiful sister Chilla with all of you tonight. Hey everybody, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget that you can also email me at ds8080@gmail.com. You can direct message me as well, or you can directly send me a request or an email, and from there on we can exchange further information. But today's class is specifically the spell casting and sorcery in Hollywood. The spell casting and sorcery in Hollywood. And we are going to read from several books today. Yes? We are going to read from several books today. And today, the writer of my lesson, my co-author, my co-writer of this lesson is Yatazakwa, my beautiful son, who helped me put everything together and helped me do a lot of research. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for him because he allowed himself to be used in the spirit of Mother Wisdom. And being that he loves all these, Marvel and DC movies, he also has the eyes to discern what kind of messages they're putting in there, what kind of stuff they're putting in there, what it's all about. Sometimes if I miss something, he goes, "Oh, Mom, did you see that? Oh, Mom, look, I know what message is being, put in there and whatnot." And it's fantastic to have his mind be so open and just be willing to research with me. It's absolutely fantastic. But we're going to be reading from the Nag Hammadi scriptures today. We are going to read a little bit from the book of Enoch, Jubilees, and Asher. Jasher. And then we are going to also read a little bit out of When Giants Were Upon the Earth, which is our factual research and backup to when people are saying, "Oh, well, giants aren't real and that stuff is made up." And so we're going to go back and forth between closing out with the Nag Hammadi scriptures, going into scripture, showing you that, the Sumerian scriptures that you guys as Christians and Hebrews follow, that's the book that actually lets us know that there is existence of giants and some other more delicious stuff. But this is Spellcasting and Sorcery in Hollywood Part 1. And the subtitle is Conjuring Up Hidden Gods and Entities. Whether we do it on purpose or unwillingly, whether we do it on purpose or unwillingly, we create, here Sarai, whether we do it purposely or not, willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or unknowingly, we are still participating in the Hollywood ritual that entails everything from their spell casting and everything that conjures up these entities and these demonic beings, right? From different realms. So, without further ado, we're going to start this class. I'm really sorry we started it a little bit later, but by this time everybody's a little bit more relaxed. Everybody's a little bit more chill. Everybody's wound down from the day. I hope everybody enjoyed their Shabbat. I was doing my research and studying with my son and writing this lesson, but I didn't get until 2 hours later because I was attending my family. So here we go. In today's lesson, we will talk about the deeply rooted spellcasting within Hollywood's walls that is put into screen and transported in what you will call today a television set or a flat screen TV, which is also known as a black screen or black portal. This is Hollywood's key ingredient for its industry and its elite actors and actresses. The storyline is the spellcasting and their word sorcery. This is the manifestation and power rule for conjuring and travel projection of these entities and demigods and between demigods from and between realms, therefore inviting them into your home, into your heart, and into your mind. Okay? And eventually they take over your soul, draining and feeding off of your energy. What is the origin of a cast spell or spell casting? This expression originated in the 1800s. It is unclear exactly how it came into use. However, cast comes from the Old Norse word kasta with K-A-S-T-A. Not the word C-A-S-T, but the word kasta from Old Norse language, which is K-A-S-T-A. It can mean to throw or to spread over an area. This is why each movie presents you with a cast or cast members. It's because these actors and actresses are the ones that are responsible for spell casting rituals of what is being thrown on or over your home, thrown or placed over your heart or your mind, as well as certain words that hold power to also conjure up hidden gods and demonic entities. Spellcasting is the ritual that wraps up in the whole main event of a mainstream business industry, which is called today's media. I'm sorry, I have such a bad scratchy throat. It hurts so much. Let me see. This is why so many movies today are targeted towards the younger generations and the youth. A lot of subliminal messaging is inside of these so-called child movies. There's a reason why the industry likes to call this entertainment. Look at the three prefix syllables that are divided out of the one single word. That's the context of entertainment, and I'm saying enter, tain, and ment. In order to understand or overstand what and why they chose to specifically call it entertainment of the masses, we must dissect the word as a whole and define it by parts. As we already know, this matrix is built to attack the mind. Psychological warfare, psyops. So now, since we are talking about the psychological warfare part of how this system is built and what it is built to do, we are going to dig a little further into dissecting those three words, enter, tain, and ment, okay? Which are the co-textual words that build together entertainment. And what we're gonna do is we're going to dissect each word individually so that we can get to the root of what puts together the whole word entertainment and why they call it Hollywood entertainment. Remember, that Hollywood is symbolic of a elite resource type of cult or sect. And so you have to understand every part of what we're getting to in this lesson, right? So if Hollywood is a type of sect that aims at bringing and luring people in as cast members, and movies are nothing more than spell casting, and the industry is built to entertain the what? We're going to get to all of that. So watch, keep paying attention. Enter, verb, late 13th century, entren. Enter into a place or a situation, to join a group. Pay attention, those that have ears, let you hear. To join a group or society. Trans to early 14th century, make one's entrance. In trans, from Old French entrer, enter, go in, enter upon, assume, initiate. Okay, pay attention to that one, initiate. And from the Latin entrare, to go into, enter, and the source of Spanish, which is entrar, and Italian entrare, from intra, which is within. Pay attention to these notes and pay attention to how Isaac wrote with me this lesson, because this is powerful. So remember that word I just said, within. And then it says related to inter, prep, adjective, among, between, from pi root word enter, between, among, comparative of the root en, or in, transitive and intransitive in Latin, in French, intransitive only, and from the century 1300th century in English as to join or engage in. To join or engage in. Whew. That one's a good one. Pay attention to that one as we further go along into the other ones and everything else, because this is getting really good. Now, and then it says to join in or engage in an activity. 14th century, penetrate. It also is distinctive of to have sexual intercourse with a woman, also make an entry in record or list, also assume the duties. And so that is a detailed list of how the root etymology of enter defines itself, okay? And we know damn well that inside of Hollywood, it's not talking about make an entry or record or list. It's none of those things. But that's how we broke down enter. Now let's break down tain. Entertain, noun. Thin, tin, plate for mirrors, etc. 1858. From French, tin, tinfoil, 17th century, an alteration of étain. From Latin, stannum, alloy of silver and lead. In late Latin, tin. Tin, T-I-N. Now, in Italian, we know that the mind means mente, which is another alternative of the word placement, mente, mente, mint, monte. If we look at the Asturian and etymology, we will find that the noun is mente, mind, the ability or the rational thought, okay? And then you have from Latin, which is also singular accusative of mens, or Proto-Indo-European, which is mentis. Mentis. And then you have other related terms, and if you go and you say to the French, hold on one second, I want to get this right for you guys. Okay, so then you go and you look up into the Galician etymology, and you have from the Old Galician and the Old Portuguese is mente, 13th century Contigs de Santa Maria, from Latin menentem, singular accusative of mens, from Proto-Indo-European mentis, and of course as a noun it means mind, memory, also synonym. And then you have mind and memory. Okay, so now you all can see the sole purpose, okay, the sole purpose of why the industry is called the entertainment of the citizens, or the entertainment of the people. Okay, it's not anything more than to, according to the breakup of these root words, it is to enter in by means of a mirrored portal and gain access to your mind or to your soul. So there you have it. I said it. I'm the one who broke down and just shattered all your fun TV watching dreams. It's so important that we understand the depth of why certain things are spoken, explained, or presented in this realm, in this matrix that we live in the way that they are presented. They are presented in this manner specifically because they are like I just said at the beginning of the lesson. This is all about psychological warfare. It's a direct attack on the mind. So there is nothing surprising about understanding that all it is, when you say the word entertainment, when they refer to entertaining you, is to enter in by means of a mirrored portal, which is your TV, your tablets, your phone, your computer, anything that mirrors a reflective image, right? That's black on the other side, that's made of lead, metallics, and tin, right? And so therefore they gain access by means of a mirrored portal, and it's only to come in and gain access and full control of your mind and your soul. So when you're watching these TVs, these movies, when you're constantly in that when you're constantly inside of that zone, when you're constantly in that mindset of, I'm going to sit in front of a TV, you may not realize it, and you may not be falling completely for it, but each time that portal is opening up, they are trying to gain access to your mind, and you're being reprogrammed, so to speak. And so that's how the world today, through these technology entities that are entering in and out of these realms, this is how they are indoctrinating our people. So when you are watching these so-called movies and you don't discern, or you aren't awake to see the true intent of each spell by cast, that is being cast, you fall victim
to their exact agenda. That enough for you to view these so-called movie times differently, or at least with a more awakened mind. Now what is funny is
a little bit louder.
Now what is funny is no one questions, for example, the industry and how connected they are with word sorcery and something being named a particular name, not by any Coincidence. Meaning that it all has a power and deep meaning, and the why to it.
Meaning that it all has a power and a deep meaning, and the why to it. Well, if you're smart, you'll research and
become
see
a more ascended individual in this realm, understanding past the veils placed upon most to keep them asleep.
Okay. So one very good one that we will talk about today is what, Isaac? It's his
Marvel.
It's his favorite one. Isaac, do you like the Marvel movies?
Yes.
So do I. All right. You can go ahead, Isaac.
To understand why it is specifically named this and the power behind it, let us take a look at the root etymology.
So one of the things that Yatsuzakwa is talking about is one of the most renowned and powerful movie industry names for the Marvel comics and Marvel movies and superhero movies, in which these gods are hiding and deeply rooted because everybody views it as fictional, fake, and oh my god, they're just a superhero and it's just a movie and you're being so extra, it's just a kid's movie, is Isaac's favorite. And it's one of mine, but not because I love the characters, but because I love to discern the stories behind everything that comes to be, right? I like to discern it. I like to use it for my, for my own personal knowledge. It's how I grow in understanding a lot of things that are rooted into this. But my throat is really hurting me, so Yatsuzakwa, can you help me with class?
Marvel, verb. 1300.
13th century.
Marveling.
Oh, you're not going to understand these words. Okay. Marvel, verb. 13th century, word meaning marveling, of persons to be filled with wonder.
From Old French,
merveilleux.
To wonder at, be astonished. From
Merveille.
see marvel. Noun. Related, marveled. Marveled.
Marveling.
Marveling.
And marveling.
marveling.
Okay.
Wonder, verb.
No.
Oh.
Explain it like this. So that's the etymology to marvel. But then if we looked at the context of it was to wonder at, we are now going to break down wonder. And wonder as a verb is
Old English.
wonderen.
Be astonished, to also admire, make wonderful, magnify, from the source of wonder. Noun.
Cognate with Dutch, wondering.
Cognate with Dutch.
Old High German. Wunderung.
German.
Wundern.
Sense of entertain, some doubt or curiosity, is late 13th
Aha!
century.
Isaac just said it. So it's a sense of to entertain, meaning that once they enter in, they're bringing some kind of doubt or curiosity to you about Marvel superhero, the Hulk, and Ant-Man, and, Iron Man. And it's bringing this kind of doubt of, wait a second, Thor, the god of I don't know what, Loki, these gods, Mischief maker. And so it makes you think and sit, okay, it's like a mythological thing, but the sense of entertaining, the idea that it's bringing doubt, it's bringing something to question, and it's bringing curiosity. Can you help?
The company Marvel.
No, right here. You finished over here. So the sense of entertain. Just read it again. Sense of
entertain, some doubt or curiosity, is late 13th centuries. Related, wondering.
Okay.
The company Marvel emphasizes its name based on its magnitude, wonder, and marvel to create a society that will be in awe of all the hidden master gods, and in turn, the magnitude of their worship goes beyond Hollywood, and we see these gods idolized and worshipped in everything from rides to games and toys, and some of these very well known demigods and master gods are depicted as superheroes, but in reality they are hidden gods of hidden worlds and realms.
So what Isaac is explaining there in that part of the lesson is that the sole purpose of them bringing us these hidden gods and these powerful entities is to in turn create an alternative mindset of we're so in awe of them and they want to be revered as the ultimate powerful deities they are, that we now have a magnitude of worship that goes beyond the screen. You have Six Flag rides, you have Universal Studios, you have gaming systems, you have console systems, you have idol worship through collectibles and toys and gaming and clothing. And so they have gone beyond the standard idolization idea of, oh my God, that's so cool, I love this movie. Now you bring that home, and like I was explaining to Isaac, the minute you bring that home, you're also bringing the energy that these things are created and rooted under, because they're not just a created thing. It's an actual existent energy. And the minute that the black mirrored portals are opened up, which is the TV, it's not just the only moment that they are revered and accepted in, but with society entertaining the idea of them being a part of us, we then are giving them our energy, we are allowing them in, and therefore they dwell within us. And we'll get a little bit more into that as Isaac goes through the lesson.
We will take a look at one very popular movie today that's very attractive to young minds and teen. We will take a look at one of many very popular movies today that's very attractive to young minds and teenagers alike. First one being Avengers Infinity War. Second one being Avengers Endgame. Third one being Guardians of the Galaxy.
So one of the things that is depicted in the first movie is the utmost depiction of the master of God of realms. What is it?
Thanos.
Say it louder, please.
Thanos.
But now we're gonna go and see what it is they're trying to feed us or indoctrinate into our minds when they present us with this master god of realms and the master destructor, which is Thanos, right? So Yatazakwa, can you read us the root etymology of the fictional character Thanos?
The name Thanos is boy's name of Greek origin, meaning immortal. Thanos originated as a short form of
Athanasius,
a Greek name meaning immortal. It is composed of the elements a
negative Greek prefix,
and Thanatos meaning death.
Wow, so Yatazakwa just explained to you guys that it's a real name. It is composed of the root meanings of a boy's name meaning immortal. Now, how funny is it that when you put those contexts together, you have an immortal being of death? Did you see that? An immortal being of another realm that is a spirit of death. So let's see a bit about why this name and who he is, so we can better understand the power of these casting spells over our mind, especially putting it in a movie like that, because they never have coincidences in how they, the characters they create, or, when a writer is like, oh, it just came to me. Things don't just come to these writers. They always have an end purpose to everything they're writing, to everything they're explaining, and to everything they're feeding your soul. Everything in the end has a purpose. They have a deep purpose to why they're doing these things. But even more specifically, it's because they are targeting these younger minds. These younger minds that don't research, these younger minds that are unlearned, these younger minds that are the minds of tomorrow, these younger minds that are the children of light workers like us. Yatsazakwa is a big light worker and a great prophet and seer. And so they like to target these minds and keep them distracted, and ultimately with the sole purpose of being able to pull them more towards the other side. But go ahead, Yatsazakwa, can you read us a little bit of how these names and things are linked?
Let's go further and see how all this is connected to where these demi-gods and master gods are linked to root and etymology of Titans. Titan, a noun. Early 15th centuries, from Latin Titan, from Greek Titan, a member of a mythological race of giants, originally 6 sons and 6 daughters of Gaia
and Uranus.
Who were overthrown by Zeus and the other gods. The war was a popular theme for Greek artists and writers. The name is perhaps from Tito. Sunday.
Where are you?
Which probably is a loan word.
Oh yeah, the name is perhaps from Tito, sun and day. Whoa! That's another great point to another lesson, Isaac. The names of the week are all after demigods and master gods. Look what it says, my love. Who were overthrown by Zeus and the other gods. Mm-hmm. The war was a popular theme for Greek artists and writers. The name, perhaps from Tito, meaning sun, day. That's the reason why the Greek Roman calendar went back to naming the day Sunday. No, Tito the god. Or yeah, Tito the Titan. Why is it on videos only, Isaac? You changed my stuff around?
No, it's on all. I have to go to images, I guess.
No. It's okay. We'll do that on another day. We'll research that
what
and
else
see.
We can do is... So there's the armored titan, and I think there's the beast titan.
So these are all giants, and these
the
are...
beast titan looks kind of like Bigfoot, sort of.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like Bigfoot. You're right. Yeah.
They're titans, so they're...
Wow.
big.
Isaac, you're very smart. I have a very smart son. Okay, let's go back to the lesson. Maybe when we do part 2, you can bring those things out. Because this is part 1. But when we do part 2, you can kind of explain the different... What's wrong, Shamar?
You
All right, very good.
exists. Right here, and I stopped at Sunday, which probably is a loan word from a language of Asia Minor. The sense of
You know what's funny? Asia Minor is mentioned in the Bible. That continent is mentioned in the Bible. Isn't that crazy? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hi, buddy. Say hi, everybody. Say hi, everybody. Thank you for the kisses. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're excited to be on live TV. Say hello to everybody on Facebook. Say hi. I'm the most spoiled puppy this world has ever seen. And I get super hyper because I want my mommy to give me kisses. Oh, my goodness. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down.
The sense of person or thing of enormous size or ability is by 1828. Titan was given as a name to planet Saturn's largest satellite in 1831. Greek Kronos, equivalent of Roman Saturn, was leader of the Titans.
Yeah. I told you that. Ow, let go. No.
So I kind of got the feeling.
No, it's okay, Isaac. Don't do that right now. Just go back to the lesson, my love.
They said that he's the leader of the Titans.
Yes, Kronos, absolutely. And it's funny because there was something I wrote in one of my other lessons about Cronus, or yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a lot to this,
wow.
Isaac. That's why we have to do a part 2. There's a lot.
Okay, where was I?
There's a lot to this.
Leader of the Titans. It was discovered 1655 by Dutch astronomer,
my love. Stop biting me,
Christian Huygens, who named it Saturnaluna, moon of Saturn. But others soon were found, and thereafter they generally were known by number only. But as new ones were being found orbiting between the known moons, the numbering kept changing. William Herschel proposed giving the multiplying moons of Saturn and Jupiter suitable proper names out of mythology. A proposal readily.
Where are you?
Here.
Readily, honey, readily.
Readily accepted by the other astronomers.
Astronomers, baby.
Astronomers related Titanian. So we can clearly see and state that the first movie clearly states a spirit entity of the lineage of the Titans, which are mythological giants, so to speak. Show you they are not.
No!
I'll show you they are not.
There's no biting, young man.
In a book I have, and even Enoch spoke of this, and the Sumerian Bible you all love so much mentions them.
Yep.
Genesis 6 and 4 is about
It recounts
the mention of them.
Yep.
There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
Okay. Yeah.
What does the book of Enoch say about giants?
Okay, can you put him down, see if he has to go potty? Or give him his chew toy, please, so I can get you the other books ready. So basically what Yatazakwa was saying is, we were taught that Greek mythology was all a lie. And that, these battles and these things that happened in the continent of the language of Asia Minor, and the sense of person or thing or enormous size or ability, were all fictional things, but they really weren't fictional. These were actual existent giant beings all over the world. Now, Yatazakwa was saying that, you have things that are out there in the world that nobody's really talking about. He's probably going to help me write part 2 to this lesson because he's so smart and he's into it. He likes all this kind of stuff. But he's talking about how these lineages amongst lineages have leadership. He's talking about the Beast Titan, the
Armored Titan,
which is probably the one that leads in battlefields, right?
And Kronos.
And Kronos. And it's funny because in one of the movies, don't they mention Kronos? I know I've heard that name Kronos before.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
I've heard that name before. I can't remember right now. I can't pinpoint it. But these names and these things are not coincidences. These are all hidden gods and entities that are obviously coming out to the light, right? Now, Yatazakwa is going to read what the book of Enoch tells us about giants and fictional characters that today somebody might say, oh, that stuff is not, real. But he's gonna read us quickly something that shows us and proves to us the existence of where these supposed giants procreated from or were descended or inherited from. He also read us Genesis 6 and 4, which recounts the mention of these giants, and he said there were giants in the earth in those days. Funny enough, this book also says when giants were upon the earth. So you can't really discredit and say that it's a mythical lie or something that was made up or a fictional story, because the Bible is more fictional and made up with its satanic sorcery and things that were put in there to cast spells over you to keep you oppressed, more than these books that have a lot of knowledge. But people will count them as and disregard them as, oh, that's not a valid source. You shouldn't be reading from that. That's satanic. What could be more satanic than somebody telling women that they have no purpose, that their only sole purpose is to recreate or procreate, and that they have to shut up and bow down to a man, and that you have ritualistic sacrifices of children being offered up and sacrificed, and you have bloodshed and pedophilia inside of this Sumerian Bible text. Why? Because it was rewritten over and over and over again by corrupt elites, and the lying pen of scribes never stopped there. So it's a book of corruption as we hold it today. It has no validity. Only some verses, depending on the person who can discern it, that can bring forth the true words of Christ, because that book does not have the true words of Christ. And I'll tell you now, and I'll debunk anybody who tells me otherwise, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of inconsistency in it for the same reason, because the writers were inconsistent, worshiping the God of this realm, not the true God of creation. But Yetzazak was going to go quickly and read for us Jubilees 20, chapter 20, verses 4 and 5. Here you go, Yetzazakwa. Nice and loud, please.
Let them not take to themselves wives from the daughters of Canaan. For the seed of Canaan will be rooted out of the land. And he told them of the judgment of the giants and the judgment of the Sodomites,
yeah.
How they had been judged on account of their wickedness and had died on account of their fornication and uncleanliness, and mutual corruption through fornication.
Very good. Thank you, Yetzazakwa. And then it says, the view from the book of Enoch in the first chapter of the first book of Enoch is a non-canonical Jewish text, and it remains a popular explanation. The first book of Enoch also notes that the Nephilim were giants, in which it seems in accordance with the people of great size described in the Numbers passage. People like to call them mythological creatures, and in all these movies, it's like, it's all mythical, it's fantasy, but the elites playing the cards know that these are actually very, very, very real beings. And they like to target children's minds so that they so that they may discern it as something good and magical, when in reality its roots are dark and it consumes the minds of any light being, including our children, right? Give me 1 second. I just lost this page real quick. Oh, thank you. All right. So they like to consume the minds of these beautiful light beings. For example, in Enoch 19, can you get it ready, please? Enoch 19.
Page 19?
No, chapter 19. We see the power of truth right before your eyes. Why do I say this? Well, because one thing is most likely to say that fallen angels are not real, not the truth. Okay, well, let's read it again. Did you get it? Nice and loud, please, okay? Yeah, I highlighted everything. Nice and loud, though, please. So remember, they like saying, oh, these are mythical creatures. These things are not real. These things are just fantasy. It's just creation for the kids. It's this, it's that. Like in the movie The Little Mermaid and all these, like in Luca, remember? So, they like to create these mythical creatures and consume the mind of a child by making it think it's all fictitious and fantasy and all for fun. But I'm going to show you. And Yatazak was going to read it in the book of Enoch 19. Okay, let's show everybody what book it is, so that if they want to purchase it on Amazon or, this is the one that he's going to read from. It's called the Book of Enoch, Jubilees, and Yasher. And he is going to prove to you, okay, that when he was talking about Enoch 19, it's talking about the many hidden gods and mythical creatures and entities that are transporting between realms through these television sets that you sit your children in front of for hours and hours and hours, instead of being at a beach, a park, on a hammock, riding a bike, letting them fall down and scrape their knees or whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. You're sitting your children and allowing them to have spellcasting, huh? In front of, I call it the Black Mirrored portal. In front of these television sets, in front of these flat screens, in front of tablets and computers and iPads and MacBooks, Chromebooks, you are allowing them to be disconnected from the source, Ahaya, Alahayan powers, and you are allowing them to be connected and consumed by these darker ruling forces. Go ahead, Yatsazakwa.
And Uriel said to me, here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits assuming many different forms of defiling
louder.
And their spirits assuming many different forms of defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. Here shall they stand until the day of the great judgment, in which they shall be judged until they are made an end of. And the women also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens, and I, Enoch, alone saw the vision, the end of all things, and no man shall see as I have seen.
Wow. So Enoch the seer was shown the end result of these women who decided to lend themselves to become the wives and defiling their temple and sleeping with these fallen angels. And what did they become, Isaac? Sirens. Can you please read this for me? The etymology of siren, please. Oops. Sorry. Can you do it for me again, please?
You have to take 2 fingers and scroll up.
I don't know how to do that. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm learning a lot from you. Yeah.
Siren, a noun. Ow. Mid-14th centuries sea nymph, who by her singing lures sailors to their destruction.
Wait 1 second. But I did it again. Wait 1 second. But most will say, oh, well, mermaids or sirens are fairy tale. Others, oh, giants are not a real thing. Okay, but science has shown scientific proof of their existence everywhere around the world. And in this chapter, you can see what Yatazakwa just read, that it's all connected. But go ahead, please continue reading the etymology of siren for the people who say they're fantasy or not real. They lure sailors to their destruction. Why, Yatazakwa? Because
They have an evil spirit.
because they are an evil entity. Okay, go ahead.
From Old French Sirene,
Sirin.
12th centuries modern French,
Siren.
and directly from
Stop laughing
Latin
at my
siren.
language pronunciation.
From Latin siren,
Sirena.
lay Latin.
Sirena.
From Greek,
Siren. You don't have to read that part. Go ahead. You don't have to read all that. You don't have to read that.
dot 39 FF.
Oh my God. Isaac, you didn't have to read that. That's like a book, honey. Go ahead.
One of the
Sirens.
mythical sisters who
It's found in that
Antist-
book. Like, that's what they're trying to tell you. It's that chapter in the book
Antist-
Odyssey.
sailors to their deaths with their songs. Also in Greek,
Ooh, a deceitful woman.
perhaps literally binder, entangler from Sierra,
Seira.
cord rope, meaning device that makes a warning sound on an ambulance, etc. First recorded 1879 in reference to steamboats, perhaps from similar use of the French word.
Figurative sense.
Figurative sense of one who sings sweetly and charms is recorded from 1580s. The classical descriptions of them were mangled in medieval translations and glosses, resulting in odd notions of what they looked like.
Okay. So basically, a siren is like all these gods hidden in movies, okay? And all other entities we can also see they are used to lure in children. When they're transported in a portal and they're being shown on TV, they're luring children's minds. Yeah.
Also, if a child is watching The Little Mermaid and they see that the mermaid is pretty, and the mermaid has a nice voice, they're gonna start liking mermaids.
They're already being deceived by them. Yep.
Start worshiping.
Yep, you got it, my love. You got it. All right.
So smart.
Yes, you are very smart. Okay. Their minds in innocence to simply drag them to these darker places.
And pour on them or enter in with evil intent, as these are cursed with evil. So this is why these movies like Luca, The Little Mermaid, What Lies Beneath.
Well, that's not a child's movie. That one's like an adult
but
movie.
It's a movie about
Creatures
underwater stuff.
and entities. Yep.
And all others are greatly emphasized as fun, creative, and exciting to see these young minds without realizing your child is being entertained.
Nope, I broke it up.
Entertained, pulled into the mirrored
portal.
These movies are spellcasting, and you as the receiver, whether child, teen, or adult, by hearing or chanting or repeating certain songs or seeing with the eyes of the soul, simply become he that conjures up said energy, dark matter and dark beings into your home, space, mind, or hearts. Wait. Don't wonder why then all these wars of conflict and emotions and
It's okay. I probably misspelled it. Excuse me.
and a rebuff.
No.
No, what is it?
And array of attacks in this flesh.
Array of attacks in this flesh aeon. It's a lot more than we can say, but you have to tune in to part 2. Or don't.
Okay.
But I will tell you this though, Ahaya doesn't intend to let the world destroy or be touched by the spirit of death. Thanos? Oh wait, no. Whatever the other name was.
Yeah, Thanos.
As it is programmed in most of these movies, one way or another. Let me show you proof of the true victory coming. Nakamari. Read Nakamari.
Now we're going to show you
page
the
601
proof
and 602.
that what they program inside of these movies, when they tell you, oh, Thanos, the spirit of death is going to destroy the earth, the spirit of death is going to come in sudden destruction, those are all spellcasting, fear-mongering, spellcasting ideas and agendas of the archons of this world, the leaders of this world. It's what they program you to believe, because they want to alter the truth of what is really going to happen. What is really going to happen is that light conquers the darkness, and the light overbears over this demonic entity and these spirits and hidden gods that are being shown to us, transporting and teletransporting through these mirrored portals, I'm sorry. And finally, Yetazakwa is going to close us out with page 601 right here. And then page 602. Now, can you come read nice and loud, please?
There were begotten the gods and the angels and the humans and the demons from the seed, all of the natures, those in heaven and those on earth and those under the earth.
You have to read a little bit louder, my
The nature of the woman among those who are in the they were bound with many. But this is not the true Adam or the true Eve. For
come read over here, honey. Read over there, honey. Read over there. There, so high. Let go, Moha!
For when they ate from the tree of knowledge, they trampled upon the cherubim and the seraphim with the flaming sword. The world ruler and his archons went to meet the bride of Adam, who was with him, and they were polluted by her. But after they had begotten offspring of the archons with their cosmic influences, those who belong to light, and the females with the males, those who are with him hidden from every nature, and those who will receive from him the will renounce the archons, for they have become worthy, immortal, and great human children, disciples, image, and from the light, holy, for from the beginning a seed. But I will be silent, for we are the brethren who have come down from the living generations. Revelations will be revealed to you through chosen children of Adam, that is Abe. Oh, Abe. Enoch, Noah, Melchized, priest of God Most High, those who have become worthy women. These two who have been chosen will at no time nor in any place be begotten. Whenever they are begotten by their enemies, by their friends, by strangers, and those of their own kind, by the impious and the pious,
Impios and pios.
There will arise all of the opposing natures, whether visible or invisible, with those in heaven, those on earth, and those under the earth. They will make war each one, for they exist whether in the holy and are numerous in them. But these in the everyone will, these will, with every blow and in sickness, these will be confined in other forms and punished. But these others, the Savior will take away, and they will overcome everything. Not with their mouths and words, but through the deeds they will do. He will destroy death.
He will destroy death. So that is contrary to when you have these Marvel DC movies telling us that you're going to have the spirit of Thanos coming and destroying everything on earth, destroying every human being, destroying every existent particle and every matter in life. So what Isaac just read proves to us that the Most High has a separation between the light workers and those that are not the light workers, between those that are Adam's true seed and Adam's fake seed. And what I mean by that is because there's two Adams, okay? I believe Brother Ahayash has spoken about this, and I believe I've also dwelled on this a little bit, but yeah, I have. So the thing about it is there's two creations. There's the real creation, and there's the one that the Archons, you mentioned them, that the Archons created, okay? Yeah, there's two. And even Ilyasa says there's two. So obviously, the Most High is going to make a distinctive separation between the true children of Adam and our lineages of our real forefathers and those that were created for this matrix, for this altered reality, and for this fake world, right? The fake Adam. So in the end, is not the way they're programming it in these movies. It's not the way these hidden gods are being portrayed on these images and entering into your homes. It's not the way that you are seeing it with your blind and eyes that are asleep. The word of the Nag Hammadi scriptures, which is the closest thing to truth that you'll get to Christ's words versus the Bible. It's this book right here. Sorry, it's a little beat up, but she's been through a lot. You know, it's been through a lot of research and a lot of classes I've written. But that it's the reason why they want to flip the script. That's the reason they want to tell you that Thanos is going to come and destroy everything. But Yatazakwa has part 2 that he's going to write with me, maybe even part 3, where we're going to dwell a little bit on the Titans. What we're also going to expose a lot of the gods and their root etymology and where they come from and what they mean, like what realms, what realms are they represent and what they're symbolic of. We're also going to expose the meaning of what the symbology is behind the stones of what the Infinity Stones. The Infinity Stones, because a lot of people don't understand that stones are symbolic of energy, okay? The stones we wear today, like I'm wearing Moonstone right now. But these Infinity Stones are symbolic of the life forces of the energies of the world. You have the energy of the soul, the energy of power, the energy of the mind, the energy of the soul, the energy of space. And so it's talking about, symbolically through a stone, it's talking about those energies, because these Titans are after that kind of energy. So they represented them symbolically through a stone. But we're going to talk all about that in part 2, because again, part 1 only covered the basic root of what it is to have, you know, this kind of sorcery in Hollywood and these hidden gods that are being conjured up with or without your knowledge. If you enjoyed this class, please, 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 please don't forget to share, subscribe, like, but more than anything, share, 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 share. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was your beautiful sister Chela. I will see you all very soon. I haven't worked out my schedule for the summer with the kids, with the puppy, with a lot of things that are going on. When I tune in, I do, and when I don't, I don't. If you miss me, just let me know that you miss me. That's all you got to do. But I will try to keep you all in tune and keep these lessons coming. Shalom. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night.